God! Good God!
Quiet, you Where am I? Oh, where am I?
You're on a train, travelling east towards Dumfries, in Scotland.
Oh, that's what comes of being a teetotaler. Oh, aye, but I'm a strong teetotaler. Aye, I took the pledge last Martinmas and I haven't touched a drop of whiskey since then. Not even a Hogmanay, though I was sair tempted. Oh, that's what I get. I heed better than hellfire and twine looking different ways for the Sabbath.
What did it?
Here, a drink they call brandy. Now, being a teetotaler, I keep it off the whiskey, but I was nip not there this brandy, and I doubt I'll no be wheel for a fortnight. Where am I? Oh, where am I? He's jumped. He's jumped to his death.
Quickly, that man needs help. You, help him.
That blasted dog just bit me.
Good evening to you. It's a fine night for the road.
Is that place an inn?
At your service. I'm the landlord, sir. And I hope you will stay the night, for, to tell you the truth, I've had no company for a week.
You're young to be an innkeeper?
My father died a year ago and left me the business. I live there with my grandmother. It's a slow job for a young man, and it wasn't my choice, the profession.
Which was?
I want to write books.
And what better chance could you ask? Man, I've often thought that an innkeeper would make the best storyteller in the world.
Oh, not now. Maybe in the old days when you had pilgrims and ballad makers and highwaymen and mail coaches on the road. But not now. Nothing comes here but motor cars full of fat women who stop for lunch and a fisherman or two in the spring and the shooting tenants in August. There's not much material to be got out of that. I want to see life, to travel the world and write things like Kipling and Conrad. But the most I've done yet is to get some verses printed in Chambers' Journal.
I've knocked a bit about the world, and I wouldn't despise such a hermitage. Do you think that adventure is only found in the tropics or among gentry in red shirts? Maybe you're rubbing shoulders with it at this moment.
That's what Kipling says. Brother romance, and all unseen bromance brought up the 9:15.
Yes. But here's a true tale for you then, and a month from now you can make a novel out of it. You're looking for adventure? Well, you found it here. The devils are after me and the police are after them. It's a race that I mean to win.
By God! It's all pure Rider Haggard and Conan Doyle!
You believe me?
Of course I do! I believe everything out of the common. The only thing to distrust is the normal.
I think they're off my track for the moment, but I must lie close for a couple of days. Can you take me in?
two chaps below looking for you. They're in the dining room having whiskies and sodas. They asked about you and said they'd hoped to meet you here. Oh, and they described you jolly well, down to your boots and shirt. I told them you'd been here last night and gone off on a motorbicycle this morning. And one of the chaps swore like a navvy.
Take this down and say it was found in my bedroom and ask them to return it to me if they overtake me.
Okay. Your paper woke them up. The dark fellow went as white as death and cursed like blazes. And a fat one whistled and looked ugly. They paid for their drinks with half a sovereign and wouldn't wait for change.
Now, I'll tell you what I want you to do. Get on your bicycle and go off to Newton Stewart to the chief constable. Describe the two men and say you suspect them of having had something to do with the London murder. You can invent reasons. The two will come back, never fear. Not tonight, for they'll follow me 40 miles along the road, but first thing tomorrow morning. Tell the police to be here bright and early. Ha! You may picture me driving that 40 HP car for all she was worth over the crisp moor roads on that shining May morning, glancing back at first over my shoulder and looking anxiously to the next turning, then driving with a vague eye just wide enough awake to keep on the highway, where I was thinking desperately of what I had found in Scudder's pocketbook. The 15th day of June was going to be a day of destiny, a bigger destiny than the killing of a Dago. It was so big that I didn't blame Scudder for keeping me out of the game and wanting to play a lone hand. That, I was pretty clear, was his intention. In spite of all the nonsense talked in Parliament, there was a real working alliance between France and Britain, and the two general staffs met every now and then and made plans for joint action in case of war. Well, in June a very great swell was coming over from Paris, and he was going to get nothing less than a statement of the disposition of the British Home Fleet on mobilization. It was something uncommonly important. In spite of all the nonsense talked in Parliament, there was a real working alliance between France and Britain, and the two general staffs met every now and then and made plans for joint action in case of war. Well, in June a very great swell was coming over from Paris, and he was going to get nothing less than a statement of the disposition of the British Home Fleet on mobilization. It was something uncommonly important. The bare bones of the tale were all that was in the book. These, and one queer phrase which occurred half a dozen times inside brackets. 39 steps was the phrase. And at its last time of use it ran, 39 steps, I counted them. High tide, 10:17 p.m. I could make nothing of that. It was no question of preventing a war. That was coming, as sure as Christmas. Had been arranged, said Scudder, ever since February 1912. Carolides was going to be the occasion.
I say, bless me, I'm dreadfully sorry. Are you hurt? Really, I must apologise. Oh, bless my soul. Do tell me you're all right.
My blame, sir. It's lucky that I did not add homicide to my follies. Well, that's the end of my Scotch motor tour. It might have been the end of my life.
You're the right sort of fellow. I can spare a quarter of an hour, and my house is 2 minutes off. I'll see you clothed and fed and snug in bed. Where's your kit, by the way? Is it in the burn along with the car?
It's in my pocket.
A toothbrush?
I'm a colonial and travel light.
A colonial? By gad, you're the very man I've been praying for. Are you by any blessed chance a free trader?
A free trader? I am.
Oh, good show!
Thank you.
You find me in a deuce of a mess, Mr. Oh, by the by, you haven't told me your name.
Twisden.
Twisden? Any relation to old Tommy Twisden of the 60th? No? Oh well. Well, you see, I'm the Liberal candidate for this part of the world, and I had a meeting on tonight at Brattleburn, and that's my chief town, in an infernal Tory stronghold. I'd got the colonial ex-premier fellow, Crumpleton, coming to speak for me tonight, and had the thing tremendously billed, and the whole place ground-baited. This afternoon, I had a wire from the ruffian saying he'd got influenza at Blackpool, and here I am, left to do the whole thing myself. I had meant to speak for 10 minutes, and now must go on for 40. And though I've been racking my brains for 3 hours to think of something, I simply cannot last the course. Now you've got to be a good chap and help me. You're a free trader and can tell our people what a washout protection is in the colonies. All you fellows have the gift of the gab. I wish to heaven I had it. I'll be forever more in your debt.
All right. I'm not much good as a speaker, but I'll tell them a bit about Australia.
Oh,